Welcome to the Timeless Wealth Podcast, where we have discussions about mindset, generational wealth, finance, and business. On today's podcast, we'll be discussing old money versus new money. But before we get into our topic, we should probably go over some housekeeping. Subscribe to our podcast so you'll be in the know when new episodes come out. Also, follow us on all social media accounts, especially Twitter. You can find all these links down below in the show notes. You will also find a link to our website where you can subscribe to our email list so you can be in the know of anything we give out in the future. So you might want to subscribe to that. On our last episode, we discussed we don't do humble. And it'll be imperative for you not to be humble as well. If you want to know my reason behind that, go listen to the last episode. But today, I kind of want to take some time on our topic, old money versus new money. And I kind of want to have this be a little bit more briefer than the last episode because I didn't know how we got to 26 minutes, to be honest. I want to keep all my episodes in that 10 to 15 minute sweet spot because I know y'all probably don't have the time to listen like that. And then I don't be having the time to record long episodes. So let's go ahead and get into today's topic, old money versus new money. First of all, we have to define what is old money and what is new money. Now, it's kind of hard to go to Google and get definitive definitions on which one is versus another because these are not definitive concepts. So, from my understanding, I think old money is basically wealth passed down from generation to generation. While new money is kind of like the wealth was just acquired. So some of the things I think that's associated with old money, this may just be my perspective and my bias. Like I said, I am not old money. I kind of get like a stuffy energy, high pollutant energy off of old money, while new money is kind of more flashy, exuberant, you know. I'm a connoisseur of a lot of our music today. Like I spend half my day probably listening to music, whether it's I'm listening to it while I'm working or whether I'm listening to it while I'm driving around. Everything I do, basically, I have some music in the background playing other than sleeping. I need a quiet room to sleep. But when I think of new money, I think of Dirty Sprite 2 by Future. I'm not sure if y'all know that album or not. But if you're from the South and you're probably under 35, you know the album. That album shows what new money is. Some of the songs I could think on that album are Blow a Bag, Colossal, Commas, what else? Blood on the Money. Those are all songs that kind of show what new money is. New money is more so of a feeling, like we're living it up because we had to work so hard to where we got to now, and we're just gonna live it up now. So, some other songs I think about now that come to mind. I don't know if y'all remember that old song by Chief Keef. I know a Chief Keef song on a personal finance podcast. Wow, but he was really showing the epitome of new money and earned it. And I spend this money because I earned it. You remember that? Yeah. That shows what new money is. And another song I can think about is Rod Wave Rags to Riches. I think that's the name of it. A lot of money bag music shows new money. As you can see, I know a lot more about new money than old money because I'm over here in new money land. But a lot of our music today, especially in the African American community, it kind of goes under the new money. Like we love to, once we get money, get all these possessions, and then we love to show it off too, which is not bad. It's not bad, but it's not good. I got to be careful how I approach this topic. It can be bad if you're not invested into assets. Let's just say that. If you're just blowing all your money, it's not going to work out for you. But yeah, everybody wants to call me. Sorry for the brief delay. But back to what I was saying is that it could be bad if everybody spends all the money that they get. Personally, I do like a little flash, so I'm not gonna talk bad on anybody. I think if you're flashing for yourself and not for others, go do it. And then I think it's best now to get into the connotations of old money versus new money before we get into the true topic. Some of the connotations I've marked down is that old money is not exuberant, flashy like new money is. New money is very exuberant. Like it wants you to see it. Like they want you to see the G wagon. They want you to see I'm rocking this YSL, this designer. Like they want you to see it. But don't let old money fool you. They spend just as amount of money. Example I think of this is when I was in New York. I used to work in New York pre-COVID in Manhattan. So you already know what type of environment that is. A lot of big corporations, a lot of people who work high income, high profile type of jobs. So when I would go to work in the morning and come home in the afternoon, well, not home, but to the hotel, I was traveling for work. What I would notice when I walk down the street, down south, we're most of new money. So, when we rock designer or something of that sort, we're wearing the Gucci print, the YSL emblem. You get where I'm going with this. Like people want you to know what they're wearing. But in New York, I noticed that a lot of them are old money because old money is traditionally located in this country, in the northeastern part of the country. And they were wearing trench coats and different things that I know they were designer, but I couldn't tell you what they were. And I know they were expensive because they just had a cut to them. Everybody did. It was some shoes. It wasn't very flashy. Like if you know what to look for, you would see it on them. So I don't believe old money is not flashy. I just believe it's flashy in a more subtle way. Because all the stuff they had on when I was passing by on the street, and you could tell it was some type of designer. But it wasn't like a flashy label like how we wear down south. But that could just be my opinion. But that's how I see where it comes to how flashy something is between old money versus new money. That kind of gets into my next point. With old money, wealth is kind of implied. Like they don't have to say it. They don't have to go rap about it in no song. They don't have to pull up in no $150,000 car. Maybe they will though. But it is not. You don't have to say I got money or it's just implied. But with new money, the wealth is shown. They want you to see it. Like all those songs I listed earlier, they're all rapping about getting the money, showing the money, and stun a little bit, then going back and get more money and do it all over again. It's a repetitive cycle. But this is where the differences really start to come in when it comes to family dynamics. First of all, with family dynamics, old money, they typically have an expansive family that has some type of wealth. Not everybody in the family may have money, but I bet you the majority of them do. So versus new money, you're probably the only one in your family who have attained that amount of income, whether it was through becoming a celebrity, getting some type of high income corporate job, becoming an athlete, owning a business. The list is not exhaustive. You're probably the one of few in your family who've gotten that, and then you're probably trying to bring the rest of your family to that level. But with old money, all that infrastructure is already there. And then also, another connotation between old money and new money is that old money typically has a lot of power with it. And when I mean power over owning businesses and corporations that you and your extended family or families that you've been friends with or your family has been friends with over generation to own certain things. You see this in political power with who funds who to run for office or to get into office. While new money on the other side, it's not at that level yet. So typically with new money, your power is more so like you might be the one with money in your family, but it's not so like your family is on running corporations and y'all are going to give big donations to put people in office to help you out with stuff you're trying to push. It's not on that level yet. And then also, like we discussed, the spending habits are different. Old money they spend, but I can bet you they have the infrastructure in their family to where what they're spending, they're bringing in way more. And it's not dependent on them going to work for somebody, or it's not dependent on them continue to have to work. The infrastructure is already there. The money's just generating itself at the point. But with new money on the other side, your spending power, you spend a lot of money. You spend a lot of money, houses, cars, clothes. And not saying that all people in new money do this, but is what you see typically. And then also is a backing too. With new money, if you mess up with your spending, you don't got no extended family to go back and rely on resources on that you can use to bounce back. But with old money, they always have that, so they could spend, and if they mess something up, I bet you some of their family members will help them out. They got some type of trust, or they got something they can fall back on. Now that we have went over some of the connotations I see between the two camps, let's get into some topic questions, and these you can think about in your life too as well. What are you? Are you old money or new money? Think about that for a second. One is not better than the other. Like if your family's old money, you might have easier to access the resources and things on that part. But being new money is not bad either, because new money, that means you really a 1 in a million. You hustle to wherever you got. You a diamond in the rough. So being one is not worse than the other. In my case, I'll probably never be old money. I mean, yeah, my family has a lot of land in the country and stuff that they passed down over generations, but that's in the old South. You know, in the old South, land was symbol of wealth. But now we're not living off the land, so we really don't do anything other than a family heirloom. But I fully more recognize with new money. Because the thing is with old money, you have to have access. I'll go into that in another question. So I'm new money. Ain't nothing wrong with being new money. Now, I do want to start practicing some old money techniques in my family and for the next generations, to where I am passing down enough resources so that they can do whatever they want to do. But as of now, I'm definitely new money. You know, unless I got some old relative somewhere that I don't know about who's gonna leave me millions of dollars or something, I'm not old money. Nothing on that level has been passed down to me. So I'm definitely new money. And don't feel bad if you're one versus the other. This is another question you should think about. Do you want your family to become old money, including the characteristics of old money? Personally, I don't want my family or future descendants to feel like they have to embody the characteristics of old money. I do want them to pass down the wealth that I'm passing down to them and multiply it in their lives, but I don't want them to embody the stuffiness, the kind of highfalutin, the elitism. At that level, I don't think it would benefit my family to start embodying those characteristics. So that's just my opinion. But I do want my descendants, I want them to be kind of like, they have resources passed down to them, but I still want them to kind of, I prefer them to be new money, to be honest, but not new money and they working hard for it, but just have the characteristics of new money, because new money is more fun. It's not stuffy. It's not in a box in a square like you got to wear a suit. New money is like you just doing whatever that you feel like you should be doing. Yeah, so just so I can repeat that question, so if you want to write it down, you want to think about it later. Do you want your family to become old money? The third question I want you to think about is, you may now have all the money, or you will have all the money, but do you have the access that old money folks truly do? Because that's the thing. When you put money aside, that old money has, that new money doesn't. Access. What I mean access, it's kind of like with old money, they've had money for generations at this point. So, their families have built relationships with other families who have had money. And, when you have money, you probably got money from being owning corporations, being donors to institutions. Okay, it's some deep stuff when it gets generation. Your family has probably built relationships with other families. So if you have a child and they want to go into this high level profession, you could just call somebody in your family, extended family, who all got money and resources. Or you could call somebody else in another family that your family's been close with for generations and say, hey, can my daughter or son come work for you? Because you already do this. And then they're all of a sudden in that high level position. They're getting that exposure that they need to do what they want to do. But with new money, you don't have that. So you may have all the money, but I can't call and get you into the school because I don't know nobody who run no private schools. Like you get what the difference is there, and that's not a bad difference, but it's just something to take mind about. So as you accumulate your wealth, you might need to start building relationships with other people who see stuff like-minded, because that may not benefit you now, but it may benefit your kids or your grandkids, because you done built relationships with these people, and then in a generation or two, because your kids probably know each other or become close enough to where they can ask, like, hey, I see you doing this, can so-and-so tag along? That relationship would be open to do that. So so I think this is all I have for you all today. So think about old money versus new money, where you stand on the spectrum. Like I said, I'm more so new money. Ain't nothing been passed down to me. It'll be lit if I have some rich relative who wants to pass me out millions I don't know about. But as of now, I'm definitely new money. They both have their pros and cons. One is not better than the other. Even though I have my biases towards new money, like I just said, it's just a little bit more fun to me. Because new money lifestyle is fun. But old money, I don't know if I actually been around anybody who has true old money in my circle. I'm trying to think. No, so my perspective may be kind of biased there. So they may be having just as amount of fun. They may be on a yacht somewhere that I don't have access to. They may be having fun, but so think about those questions I brought up towards the end of the podcast, and feel free to subscribe, and then also come on over to Twitter. We're gonna start getting active on that real soon. So and then we'll probably have another episode out within the next week. And thank you all for listening.